And welcome to another Vinny Talks Yanks. I'm your host Vincent LaRose, and today it is January 13th. It's almost 12 o'clock, so it's about to be January 14th, and the Yankees have finally made an addition to this roster. It is the first addition all off-season in the middle of January. I don't think I remember an off-season ever being this slow, or it taking this long ever to sign, to either sign or trade for somebody. But this would make the Yankees the very last team to add a different player than what they had for the 2025 season, and I'm all for it. So, if you obviously guys don't know, you likely do know, but the Yankees have traded for starting pitcher Ryan Weathers. They traded for him, 4 prospects for him from Miami Marlins. As the Yankees were in talks with Edward Cabrera, they were also in talks for Ryan Weathers, and that one ended up working out better. And I think the Yankees like the outcome better. He still has 3 years on his contract, so we have him for time as well. But we did give up a ton, so let's get into that. So, in exchange for Weathers, the Yankees gave up Brendan Jones, our number 15 prospect, Dylan Lewis, our number 16 prospect, Dylan Jaso, our number 23 prospect, and Juan Matthews. So four prospects, 3 of our top 30, 3 of our top 25 actually. So the Yankees gave the Marlins a haul, but I feel like the Yankees needed this well. Weathers is at the bottom of his potential right now. He's only gotten better as his career has grown. There's obviously been issues throughout his career, but it's an upside to what we had. I think it's an upgrade over somebody like if you were to start Will Warren in that final spot, or if that 4th spot, and then had Yarborough or Blackburn make a starts until either until Rodon came back, and then Cole after. So it puts Warren in that 5th spot. It pretty much closes that question up for now, at least. We will get into the rest of the information later in the video, but let's get into a little bit about Ryan Weathers. So Ryan Weathers is the son of former Yankee David Weathers, a 19-year vet who helped the Yankees win in the 1996 World Series. I believe he had 11 super strong innings in that postseason and helped the Yankees win their first title in quite a bit at the time. I think the last time before that maybe was 1978, maybe 76 if I'm not mistaken. But Weathers has a repertoire. His main pitch is his 4-seam fastball that tops out at 99. I think he got 98.8 last year, which would be considered 99. They round up. He also has a changeup, a really, really nasty sweeper, and he also has a sinker and a slider. So I think he's also a very good fit for Matt Blake. We know Matt Blake is good with working with the fastball and the slider. Rodon was a great example of that fastball, slider, sweeper kind of pitcher, power pitcher, and when he came over, he struggled for a little bit, but I think Matt Blake, now having experience with that, can also help Weathers in his own way very well. But in 2025, Weathers made 8 starts. He had a 3.99 ERA and 38 innings pitched with 37 strikeouts. So he was good last year as well. He only made 8 starts, unfortunately, but in those 8 starts he did pitch 38 innings, so he's not getting bounced out fast, although he does have a 3.99 ERA. He also played for the Marlins, and their defense was not good, so it's a high possibility that could have affected him. But really the big issue throughout Weathers' careers has been the injuries. He has not been able to consistently stay on the field for the majority of his career, starting with San Diego and then eventually going over to Miami. And that is the tough part about Weathers. It's staying on the field. He has Tarek Skubal-like stuff, and he has a ton of potential. I believe more than likely he will stay in the rotation. To be completely honest, anything can happen by the time Garrett Cole comes back. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody else goes down with an injury, and I think he's going to be that guy that we don't expect to be in the rotation the full season, kind of like how why am I blanking on him? I literally just said his name. It's kind of like how Will Warren was last year. We didn't expect him to be in the rotation for the full season. He makes 32 starts, and he was pretty good for us. And then I feel like Weathers could be in that position. I do fear about Weathers potential in the sense of being able to stay on the field. He's had a really big problem with that throughout his career, so that's a little scary. That's the only worry I truly have about Weathers. But, you know, you can make that work. Maybe Yankees figure something out with him and help him out. But obviously with that weather news, a lot of questions are being asked. Does that take the Yankees out of talks with the Milwaukee for star starting pitcher Freddie Peralta? And as of now, it is seeming like that is a no. The Yankees are not going to stop talking to the Brewers about a potential trade for Peralta. But what is being essentially said is they're expected to likely trade Heel for Peralta anyways. So Peralta would swap that, and then to start the rotation, start the season, you would go Fried, Peralta, Schlittler, Weathers, Warren. You could put Weathers in front of Schlittler. I think Schlittler probably has shown us more, and he's shown more at the big league level than Weathers has. I know Weathers has more of a longer career, but I think you see more potential in Schlittler, and I think Schlittler's earned the third spot. But it kind of doesn't matter. It's all going to be shifted around anyways once Rodon comes back, and then after Rodon, Garrett Cole. So it is going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting. But like I said, Yankees are still in for Peralta. They are not going to shy away from talks in a trade for Peralta, and that would just make, Peralta is better than Luis Hill, so that would be a straight up upgrade, but that is a 1 season upgrade. I think the Yankees are very aware that he has a lot of injury problems and are more willing to go with the guy that has been consistent throughout his first 6 years or 5 years of his career and has been an ace over the past 2 years for the Milwaukee Brewers. So I think that would be the better move there. Obviously, Peralta's going to be more money than Hill. I believe Hill is still on the league minimum, and then Peralta is making $9 million for next year, so that could hinder the Yankees a little bit, especially with talks of Bellinger starting, have died down, but now they are still in conversation to make that contract happen. So it's going to be very interesting. I do think the Yankees should absolutely still go out and get Peralta. You get Peralta, once Cole and Rodon come back, you probably have the best rotation, if not a top three. If not the best, a top 3 rotation in baseball. You would probably still keep Fried at your 1, but you'd slot Cole into your 2. Then you would have Peralta, either Schlittler. You could still have Weathers in there. You still have the opportunity to have Warren. Schmidt's coming back at some point. I'm forgetting somebody. I don't know why. Rodon. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting about Rodon. You would probably go Fried, Cole, Schlittler, Rodon. Rodon's weird to be a 4th, but just how it lines up, you could flop that. Obviously, you can mix that around a lot. I think the Yankees would likely go back and forth, but you still have Schlittler, Warren, Weathers. In this potential possibility with Peralta, you would trade Heel. It's thought that they would trade Heel, so he would be out of the picture. Peralta would take over that spot. You'd have a very good a very good starting rotation, and then you'd have good pieces to move into the bullpen as well. Warren can be a good piece out of the bullpen. We know what Yarbrough can be out of the bullpen. Paul Blackburn is kind of just like there, to be honest. He's not going to be elite. He's not going to be overboard, whatever. But let me know what you guys think. I like comment down below what you guys think the Yankees should do it in this moment. But the Yankees are putting themselves in a good spot. They still have top prospects to be able to trade. There's still possibility to trade for Peralta. But with that being said, I think that probably puts them out 100% on Mackenzie Gore. I don't see why they'd go out and get another lefty. That would put, you already have Rodon Fried. That would put 4 lefties in your rotation. I don't think the Yankees are going to do that. That doesn't make any sense to me. They're not going to trade Heel for Mackenzie Gore. So I think the only starting pitching we could add to this point for the rest of the offseason would be Freddie Peralta. I don't see them doing anything else besides adding Freddie Peralta and bringing Bellinger back, to be completely honest. Obviously, we know they still got to work on that bullpen, but the bullpen can be worked on. They did just pick a guy up that was DFA by the Astros. I'm not remembering his name, but he also has a very good fastball, high velocity, and the Yankees will work with him as well. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting his name. I'm not going to talk about it at this moment. It's not a big move, but it is going to be very, very interesting. So, let's see what I got next. And then back to the Bellinger stuff. So the Yankees seem to be getting closer with a potential contract with Cody Bellinger. A couple days ago, we got that the Yankees are at a stall, and they're just, they're looking at other options. I would say this for sure: Tucker is more than likely completely out of the picture. I know the Yankees have had conversations with him, but it has come out and said that the Mets are offering Tucker $50 million a year. Yankees aren't going to be able to offer that, and I don't think they should offer that. I'm okay with that. The Blue Jays are looking for a more long-term deal, and I don't think the Yankees want to really get in that with Tucker either. I think the Yankees are trying to stay away from these big long-term deals. We have been burnt on Hicks deals, the DJ LeMahieu deal, the Jacoby Ellsbury. The Yankees have been burnt on long deals a couple times. They have failed than have succeeded over the past couple of years. So I understand the Yankees wanting to stay away from that and in that regard. So it's going to be very interesting. With the Bellinger talks, it is being said that both parties would like a reunion. Bellinger wants to be on the Yankees. Obviously, the Yankees want Bellinger back. So it'd be interesting if Bellinger doesn't come back. Honestly, at this point, I'm kind of okay with it. I would just want the Yankees to go out and get either a Nico Horner or another infielder to move around in that sense, only because I want them to have more infield depth if they're not going to have one of the best outfields in baseball. Like, they had the best outfield in baseball last year. So if that's not returning, you need to improve your infield. To be brutally honest, you need to get rid of Volpe in that sense, especially if you're going to have Ryan McMahon over there at third base. If McMahon is going to be almost your every single day starter, you're going to need your shortstop to hit the ball, and you cannot have that left side of the infield, yes, be elite defensively, but be very, very poor offensively. I still think it's crazy that there's thoughts about trading Jazz. You do not trade Jazz. Jazz also took less money. He's only sitting at 10.2 for arbitration. He was expected to get 14 million. He very easily could have got that if they went to an arbitration case. So don't trade Jazz. Rice is fine. I'm okay with having poor defense over there at first. You're going to have Rosario rotated in and out there as well, as they are training him to play first base. You also have Wells and JC Scar behind the plate. You have good defense behind the plate. You'll have good defense at third base, and Nico Horner is obviously an elite defender, so if you throw him at shortstop, that'd be good. If you go the Bichette route, if you lose out on Bellinger, it's very possible you can do that. You can make a Bichette route work, but do not throw him at second base. Throw him at shortstop until, if you guys don't re-sign Jazz, then throw him at second. Figure out who's going to play short, whether that will be Volpe. Volpe gets another chance, or whether that'd be Lombard Jr. ready. Probably not next year, maybe 28, maybe 29. But the Yankees have very many options, and they're playing their cards right as of now. Look, I know everybody was freaking out, but the truth behind it is no free agents are signing. You still have, I know Bregman just signed a couple days ago, but you still have Bellinger on the board. You still have Tucker on the board. You still have a couple guys on the board. Bichette's still on the board, obviously, as we just talked about. You still have big free agents out there. It's not like everybody is signed and there's nowhere to go. You still have two. I really think they're in on Bichette or Bellinger. I don't think Tucker is a possibility anymore. One of those two, if you get one of those two free agents, you're in a good spot. You lose out maybe in the outfield. You could trade for Quan, or you could go with the kids. You could run Dominguez and Jones out there, see how that goes, see how that works for the Yankees. So it's very, very interesting. The Yankees have moves to do. Besides all that too, the Yankees are still in talks with Nico Horner was mentioned as one of the position players. There's another 3 position players they're discussing with teams for potential trades. I don't know who those are, but that was just what was reported. The Yankees have also checked in on center fielder Harrison Bader. Harrison Bader would likely just be a backup. I guess if they lose out on Bellinger, you could throw him in left field if you were to sign him. If there was ever an issue with Jones, if Jones and Dominguez are both really struggling and you'd rather just sound defense in the outfield, you could always throw Bader out there. Also, it's good to have a backup center fielder because if Grisham's down, as of now, without Belly, we don't really have a backup center fielder. So that is going to be interesting. But the Yankees are putting themselves in a better spot than they were just a couple of days ago. We got the move that we were expecting at least sometime soon. Maybe not one everybody, not the guy people were expecting. I couldn't tell you Ryan Weathers was definitely not on my radar, not one bit. But looking at his numbers and looking at all his stuff, as I'm sure I showed you guys before, it's elite, and he's going to be good if he can just stay on the field. he just needs to be able to stay on the field. That's really the big issue behind it. So I'm very happy that we got something's going on. I got some content to talk about. But that's pretty much where I'm going to end it. I'm going to try to keep going with more consistent updates, as now things are starting to heat up a little bit, which is weird because January is usually the dead month, but things are starting to heat up a little bit. I believe we are about a month away from pitchers and catchers reporting, so I'm very excited. Hopefully everybody comes in healthy. That would be very, very nice, although that's very rare. And usually ends up a guy getting hurt. But let me know down below, who do you guys want the Yankees to still go get? Where do you guys see the Yankees still need to improve? Like I said, I think the Bellinger contract in the end is going to work out. I think it's just the want to play in New York for Bellinger is still there, and it really seems like the Mets are going to land Tucker now. So it's going to be interesting, but we'll see where that lands. But let me know down below in the comments. Give me some feedback. Let me know. But anyways, that's where I'm going to end it today. So if you're on the podcast side, I appreciate you for listening. If you're on the YouTube side, I appreciate you guys for watching. As always, every one of you is very much appreciated as I continue to grow. Also, I got a new camera. Let me know how things. The quality is much better, but it's kind of, the zoom is a little bit different. So let me know how you guys like this. If I have to, oh, look at that! I moved it. That's kind of cool. Okay, I'm playing with my camera mid-video. That's hilarious. It's not focusing now. Anyways, that's where I'm going to end it today. So thank you for watching. I hope everybody has a wonderful night, day, whatever time of the day it is, whenever you're watching or listening to this. And as always, go Yankees.